Hey fam, Speed Duel Bro here. How's it going? And in today's video, we have Here Goes Something. Let's get right to it. For the skill card, we have Here Goes Something. For monster lineup, we have 1 Elemental Hero Avian, 1 Bursinatrix, 1 Clayman, and 1 Sparkman. And then we have 3 Goddess with the Third Eye. For spells, we have 3 Reinforcement of the Army, 3 Polymerization, 3 Fusion Sage, and 2 Fusion Recovery. And then for traps, we have 3 Widespread Ruin. And then for the extra deck, we've got 2 Flame Wingman, 1 Rampart Blaster, 1 Dark Bright, 1 Thunder Giant, and 1 Plasma Vice. Alright, before we go over the game plan fam, let's review the skill card Here Goes Something real quick. It reads, once per duel, you can activate this skill at the start of your battle phase, while you control exactly 1 elemental hero monster and no other monsters. For the rest of this turn, that 1 monster gains 800 attack while battling an opponent's monster and can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. Well, there goes Defusion. But anyways, when it comes to activating this skill, I'd like to think that we're either gonna be going for game or trying to regain control of the field. So with that in mind, I think that Flame Wingman and Plasma Vice would be the 2 fusion monsters that benefit greatly from this skill, or benefit the most from this skill. Because we already know that Flame Wingman's effect of when it destroys monsters by battle and then it does burn damage equal to the attack of the monster. Oh my goodness. And Flame Wingman being at 2900 attack from the skill, we can run over almost anything. So as you can see here, we have Cyber Dragon and the Colossus. So if Flame Wingman destroys both of them, oh, that's game. And then as for Plasma Vice, if the situation calls that the opponent's monsters are all face down on the field, they're playing defense, well, Plasma Vice has that ability to be able to do battle piercing damage. So with an attack boost from Here Goes Something, Plasma Vice will be at 3400 attack. Oh, that's going to be some significant damage too. So let's do the math real quick fam. So 3400 attack minus 1200 defense, that's going to be 2200 points of damage. And then 3400 minus 1600 defense is going to be 1800s. So 2200 plus 1800, that's 4000 points of damage. That's game. So I'd like to think that with the skill of Here Goes Something, we are primarily pushing for game. And then the second function is that if the opponent has way too many monsters on the field, then we will try to regain control of the field by wiping out all their monsters. And in most cases, that's gonna make it game for us. So yeah fam, I just wanted to showcase how the skill I think was intended to be used. And now that I've done that, I want to show you the main strategy of this deck so that we can achieve this favorable outcome. How to win / strategies. Now as you can see fam, with the way the deck's been built, the deck just screams fusion summoning. And that is this deck's greatest strength, which is fusion summoning for days. And with the 3 copies of Fusion Sage and 3 Rotas, we'll be able to fusion summon consistently enough. And where we're gonna catch the opponent off guard is with Fusion Recovery. Let's read it real quick. It reads, target 1 Polymerization in your graveyard and 1 monster in your graveyard that was used as material for a fusion summon. Add them to your hand. So the reason why I say we're going to catch the opponent off guard fam is because with a Polymerization deck, people are usually used to seeing 1 Polymerization and then that's it. Like, oh, you used your Polymerization, you're one and done. But thanks to Fusion Recovery fam, we can still make those power play of fusion summoning throughout all stages of the game, from early to mid to late. And so really this deck gets stronger as the duel drags on. Because as you know, when a duel drags on, both duelists are required to use all their resources or their power cards, right? So imagine come mid to late game that, you're neck and neck with the opponent in life points and resources. Well, Fusion Recovery covers that problem for us, because we'll still be able to bring out a boss monster technically, and the opponent won't be able to. But with all that fusion summoning shenanigans being just told right now, fam, there is a proper way to fusion summon with this deck, and that's where the strategy comes in. So pay attention now, fam, like for real. Alright, fam, so against a tough opponent, or any opponent for that matter, they're gonna have back row. And if we're gonna be facing a more competitive opponent, we're probably gonna run into Floodgate Trap Hole or Book of Moon most of the time. But with the way this deck's been built, fam, we anticipate those. No worries. So, when we fusion summon properly, and this is what I mean by this, when we fusion summon, I want you to bring out the less powerful fusion monsters. Specifically Thunder Giant, Rampart Blaster, Dark Bright, or that first copy of Flame Wingman. Now, which one you're gonna bring out, it will depend on the situation, so you'll just have to assess that for yourself. But let me go over each hero real quick, okay? So with Thunder Giant, you can't go wrong with 2400 attack and the ability to pop monsters on the field. And then with Rampart Blaster, good defense, good stall, and if we can get in an attack for some direct damage, why not? And then Dark Bright, what I love about Dark Bright here, fam, is its text at the bottom. It says, if this card is destroyed, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. So, if we run into Book of Moon or Floodgate Trap Hole, no worries. When they destroy our Dark Bright, then it's guaranteed that we're gonna take a monster off of their side of the field too. And it doesn't have to be by battle, it could be by card effect. And then the first copy of Flame Wingman, fam, this is just so to put in initial shock or fear in the opponent, like, oh my gosh, is he gonna go for game or try to do some massive damage to my life points now? So yeah, fam, come early game, I want you to bring out the lighter fusion hero monsters, okay? Because essentially what we're trying to do with these four here, we're trying to bait out the opponent's face downs so that come mid to late game, oh, we'll do this fusion recovery, then we bring out the big guns. Because come mid to late game, the opponent should have already exhausted their back row cards, which will lead them to be more vulnerable to being attacked for game. Okay, fam, I hope you got all of that. So this is how you properly fusion summon with this deck. You bring out the lighter ones first so that we can bait out the back row, grind it out, and then come mid-late game, we finish them off with the big power play that we have with this deck, with Here Goes Something. Card analysis. The skill card Here Goes Something. Always remember, fam, that when we activate this skill, we're either going for game or we're trying to regain control of the field, because that 800 attack boost and being able to attack all of the opponent's monsters once, that's very nice. And then we play the elemental hero monster lineup. Obviously we have to play these guys so that we have access to the fusion monsters. And then we play the 3 goddess with the third eye because it gives us flexibility in terms of being able to summon any fusion hero monster at any given time. And so with that point being made, reinforcement of the army also helps us with that. Just call upon any hero. And then we play the 3 polymerizations because I felt like we're obligated to play 3 polymerizations because we're all about fusion summoning. And then the 3 fusion sage so that we can get to the polymerization immediately. Now some may feel that the 3 fusion sages may be a bit excessive, but in my play testing with this deck, fam, it's kind of needed because if we don't have access to our fusion hero monsters, we're in a bad spot. We really are. And then we play the 2 fusion recovery because I like the aspect of being able to consistently fusion summon throughout all stages of the duel, from early game to mid game to late game. Mid to late game is where we're going to catch the opponent off guard because they've probably already thought we've exhausted our power plays, but nope, we just keep them coming. And then I played the 3 Widespread Ruin. Now, this is just a pure tech choice, fam, because I wanted to be able to protect my monsters from, let's say, DD Warrior Lady or Zoma, because I feel like those two would be the monsters that would give our heroes the most trouble. And then we play the 2 copies of Flame Wingman. Remember, fam, the first copy of Flame Wingman is to put that initial shock or fear in the opponent that, oh, we're gonna do some massive damage to their life points. But it's also to bait out any back rows that the opponent may have. And then you bring out the second copy when you feel like the field is clear and you can go for game with Here Goes Something. And then the 1 Plasma Vice, obviously, because of piercing damage and its big attack, 2600, pretty good. And then the variety of Dark Bright, Rampart Blaster, and Thunder Giant. I like having options, fam. That's why I have that variety of hero monsters. Okay, so where does this deck rank on the power scale? In my humble opinion, this deck is casual. Now, the reason why I say it's casual, fam, is because we are so heavily invested in fusion summoning. Now, granted, if you fusion summon properly with this deck and you grind it out, you should be able to win. But it would have been nice if we could have incorporated some form of back row removal or even a draw engine. So that's where I feel like the deck may be lacking. But again, we try to mitigate those missing aspects by having 3 Rhodas and 3 Fusion Sages. But yeah, fam, we rely heavily on fusion summoning. So that's why I consider this deck to be casual. It's fusion summon or bust. But again, fam, I hope you fusion properly with this deck, because it's always fun to be playing with the elemental heroes on your side, you know? And to be able to tell our opponent, well, here goes something, and we'll be able to steal the game from them. Oh man, that's a get your game on kind of moment, huh? But anyways, fam, that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to hit the like button, helps me out a lot. And if you haven't already subscribed to me, your Speed Duel bro, you're more than welcome to subscribe, because 2 things: I always play to win, and I'll teach you how to win. And 2, if you love speed duels, I'm sure you'll love me too. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.